Hey, how religion is destroying your life. A little provocative title, I know. And let's start with true religion is not destroying your life, but this modern, dogmatic, narrow way of thinking is destroying your life. Religion in Latin, in the original definition, means to tie together. So what does that mean, to tie together? It's similar to yoga, which means to yoke, which means union. It's interesting how the East and the West have the same words, same meaning, different words, same meaning. So to tie together means to bring all aspects into union, from the masculine to the feminine, to the good and the evil, from the inside to the outside, the spiritual to the religious. All of these different aspects of life have to be taken into account and brought tied together. It's a beautiful definition. So true religion in that sense, I agree with. It is what I call spirituality, because it's not defining, drawing lines, creating distinctions. It uses everything to tie together. What is destroying your life, and I speak from my own experience, being raised in a Christian, evangelical Christian household. When you say you're a Christian, you are completely boxing yourself in and limiting yourself. When you say you're a Hindu or a Muslim or a Jew, all of these definitions are completely limiting yourself and cutting you off from the rest of the world. Jesus never claimed to be a Christian. He was just a Christ. Buddha was never a Buddhist. The people that created these religions never claimed to be part of a church, never claimed to be a follower of anyone, which is so fascinating that millions of people fall for this. But I guess it's just much easier to follow somebody else than think for yourself. It actually takes tremendous amounts of courage to become a true spiritual follower or a true religious person. It takes just tremendous courage. I remember when I was in high school, around there, there's a train coming. I don't know how distracting this will be. I guess we'll try it, see if it is worth posting. But I can remember in high school being groomed to be a Christian my whole life. I wouldn't do anything outside of the box, completely terrified of hell. All in, I was all in. And then coming to the realization that I needed to step away from the church to expand and become more, to integrate more. It's hard. It was very difficult. You have to say goodbye to your community, your friends in the church. You have to say goodbye to this aspect, this identity that you think you are. And the paradox is, when you truly become enlightened, you actually disappear. When you are at your fullest and you embody the universal cosmic consciousness, your small self disappears. It's like Muji says, your finger can block the sun, and the sun is that universal consciousness, and your ego is that finger. It's so easy to block out all of this, and it's totally natural too. You can go your lifetimes and never be interested in moving beyond your small self, and that's fine. Life is interesting enough as it is, but if you're an old soul and you've done this a few times, you're gonna want to transcend. You're gonna want to grow into something more fulfilling, something that is real, and you start to get tastes and glimpses of your true self. And the idea of going back to your smaller self, it's silly. It doesn't make sense. So this idea, dogmatic religion is ruining your life. The reason why, like I said, is you're totally cutting yourself off from the rest of the world. I can remember when I was a kid thinking about, like, all right, I'm a Christian, you need God, you need Jesus to get into heaven, otherwise you're sent to hell forever, for eternity. But what about the people born in Peru that never hear about this? What about the people born in Africa? They have what, God created them, but he doesn't love them enough to not send them to hell for being born in God's creation. It made no sense to me as a kid. So when you define yourself and limit yourself as, I'm a Christian and all these other religions are wrong, completely discounts, how many millions of people, billions of people are seeking something greater than themselves, and just because it's not the same religion that you were born in culturally, that you were taught, that you think, first of all, you probably think you're better than them. I remember that stage in my life. And you also think that they're destined for hell. It's crazy. It's absolutely, it's sad, really. And I still see people, talk to family members, people, and they are all in on Jesus, or you are not worthy of love, or it's just... So this way of defining yourself is so limiting. And what I've found works best for me is taking, like I said at the beginning, religion, taking all these different aspects, taking Buddhism and Sufism and Hinduism and Christianity and all the different aspects, and adding it to my life, seeing what works best, and then from there implementing it and growing. And no definition. I don't define myself by what ideas I use. I'm not limited in that way. And because of that, I get to see the beauty of all the different religions and all the different people, and it's just such a deeper, more fulfilling way to live your life. And it takes courage, like I said. You're gonna have to walk away from the mainstream. The mainstream consciousness doesn't want to consider that. They don't want to walk away from the crowd. And that's what you have to do, ultimately, if you want enlightenment, awakening, whatever you want to call it. If you want individuation in the Carl Jung sense, if you want to become your own individual, to become total, to become whole, you have to walk away from the crowd. The crowd is just mediocre, basic people that would much rather just be told what to do, and then they can watch their TV and work their job that they do and whatever else they need, drink their beer. They're just not gonna invest their energy into this. Anything else on this topic? I guess you really just have to get a taste for yourself. That's what it all comes down to. That's why meditation, plant medicine, contemplation, anything that requires you to look inward and reflect is so valuable, and you get to see what works in your life. Thanks for sticking with me this far. If you're still here, I offer consultations, private one-on-ones. The awakening process can be an interesting journey, lots of pitfalls and ways we can get stuck. And so I'm here for support. If you are interested in that, reach out, jordanjdragon.com. Much love.